be quiet then?
No, it's totally fine. Ask questions. Go ahead. Because otherwise, if you're asking a question and it pauses, and I keep talking, it kind of gets weird. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start our Unit 2, Chapter 3 in the textbook, triangles. Okay. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be learning sine law. Now, these triangles that we're learning about are acute triangles.
So everything's smaller than 90?
Yes. Okay. Nothing is 90 degrees anymore, okay, with triangles. Last year in grade 10,
everything was 90 degrees?
Everything was 90 degrees. All triangles are right angle triangles. So with right angle triangles, that means you can use, TOA. And you could also use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Pythagoras. Now you can't. All right. We're going to be using today new ones. Today we're going to learn about sine law. The first thing you should know about, so this is done. Don't forget it, because every once in a while there's a question that comes up where you got to use it again. But for the majority of what we're doing here, you're not going to be using it. Whenever you're given a triangle now, they use 3 letters. It can be any letters, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, L, M, N, whatever. But what they do is they use uppercase letters for the angle, and then they use lowercase lettering for the opposite sides. So here's angle A, the opposite side's over here, that's little a. Angle B, little b. Angle C, little c. Okay. And with that, we get this formula. In Foundations 20, I don't explain where they get that from. Basically, what they do is they draw a line, they make this a right triangle, and then they solve a bunch of stuff, and it proves that this works. Pre-Calc 20, I show you how it's done. But basically, if you take the sine of angle A divided by side A, that'll be the same if you go sine B divided by little b, or sine C divided by little c. The sine of the angle divided by the opposite side is the same for every one of them. For any triangle, it doesn't matter if it's a right triangle, a acute triangle, a obtuse triangle, this will always work. Okay? This formula you'll be given on the test. All right, so what it means is if you have an angle and an opposite side and anything else about the triangle, you can solve for all of it. Now, I'll go through some examples to show you guys what that actually looks like. It's just easier to learn by doing instead of me trying to theoretically explain this all to you guys. All right, so the first example, you don't have to write this down. I'll draw the triangle and then go from there, okay?
Just draw the triangle down?
Yeah. Okay, so a triangle has angles measuring 80 and 55 degrees. Okay. Those are all straight lines. So one's 80. The other one's 55. Now the side opposite the 80-degree triangle is 12 meters in length. Okay, so opposite the 12 meters. Now we want to determine the length of the side opposite the 55-degree angle. So we want to find this side here.
So sine 80 over 12 equals sine 55 over x.
Right, okay. This is the angle I have, and I have this opposite side, so that's sine 80 over 12. Now it doesn't matter which one of these you use, like sine A and sine C, or sine A and B, B, C, C, A, doesn't matter. It's all the same. So I'll just write out. So it's going to be sine 80 over 12 equals sine of my other angle over x. Okay, any questions so far about what I've set up? Okay. Groovy. Now, what I do, the first thing you always do with these, until you get more, once you get more comfortable with these, you start to see that there's like little steps that you can skip and jump forward to. But the first thing you got to do, we'll start off with, is you cross multiply. Okay? So I multiply the x over to the other side, and I multiply the 12 over here. Alright, so it looks like this. X sine 80 equals 12 sine 55. Now remember, I'm trying to solve for x here, right? So algebraically speaking, if I have x times sine 80, how would I bring the sine 80 over to the other side? What's the opposite of multiplication?
Divided by sine.
Right, I divide by sine 80. Okay. So I'm going to get x equals, these will cancel. Question, Jenna? All right, now you work this out.
So now you punch sine 80 and sine 55 to get like numbers.
Well, you can do it one of two ways. If you have the Texas Instrument calculator, it's kind of easy to do it all at once. If you have one of those TI, like Brooke, raise yours up. If you have one of those awful devices, you got to do it in a couple steps. Okay, if you have a Casio, I have no idea. Okay, so a couple different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you guys how to do it in one fell swoop, okay? If you have this one, which I think most of you guys do, right?
Yes, because you told me I needed to go buy that one because mine sucked.
Good. That sounds like something I would have said. Okay, so you're going to go 12 times, you hit sine, and put 55 in there. And if you want, you can hit enter.
But where's
Sine
enter?
minus 1 or?
Nope, sine, just regular
Enter's
sign.
a thing on here?
Yeah, the equal sign.
Oh.
It says enter right above it. And then you divide that by, hit divide, then go sine 88. Then equals again. And you should get 9.8 meters. Okay? This step right here is where most people make their mistakes because they punch it into their calculator wrong. What's wrong, Jenna?
I didn't have, all I had to do was take then 12 times sine 55 and I got the answer right away.
You would have got like 9.8 something or another, right?
Yeah.
The only thing, the reason because that sine 80 is actually really, really close to 1. So when you divide something by 1, it's just itself. Okay, typically that doesn't work out like that.
Okay.
Okay? Good question though, I never would have caught that. Okay?
And then the one opposite B is 9.8.
Yeah, so then this here would be, little b would be 9.8, or whatever you called it, little x, little t, I don't care. Okay, so far so good? Okay, let's try another example now.
Is this all we're doing?
Just hold on. This is kind of easy, right? Grade 11, don't worry, we'll make it harder for you. The word problems, right, good gentlemen? Oh, the word problems. I might do one word problem with you guys today and then give you some to work on, okay? All right, now for this example, I'm going to cross this out, and I'm actually going to make this a, let's go, 17 centimeters. This time we're going to look for an angle, not a side. I should have done this before. Okay, so we want to solve for big C.
Isn't it just the same? It's just opposite.
The same idea, yeah. But we'll just go through it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but now you're going to be using sine -1, right? Because you're looking for an angle. So if you set it up, it's just going to be sine 51 over 12 equals sine C over 17. Now, I told you guys cross multiply, right? So then it would be 17 sine 51 over 12 sine C. Then I got to get sine C by itself, so I divide by 12. Now, if you look, when you divide by 12, it gets rid of the 12 over here, but it also puts the 12 back on the bottom over here, right? Am I going too fast? Okay, that's what I thought. I can't tell, you guys are very quiet. So I just get nervous talking. I'll give you guys a second. If you look here, now that once we divide by 12, see how I have 12 on the bottom again? After a while, you'll kind of figure out that you don't need to always cross multiply everything. Like if I got to get C by itself, why would I bring this over just to bring it back, right? But you'll get there. That's just something you can be aware of, okay? So now, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to write everything over here. So now I'm going to punch this into my calculator. So you're going to go 17 times sine 51 divided by 12. You may have to go 17 divided by sine 51 equals, or if you're going to use brackets, you'd close the bracket behind the 51 and then go divide by 12. Okay? If you do that, you can do it all in one step. When I did that, I got
I got 1.1.
oh no, this isn't going to work because I made up the numbers. Shoot.
Did you screw it up again?
No, I made up the 17.
The 17 doesn't work.
No, it won't work.
Okay, so we all should have got 1.1, but
Yeah.
to make it work, what should it be?
Okay, you guys should have got, 1.1. Let's say we got 0.1, okay? To make it work. It'll work fine. Just bear with me. Just scratch out the 1 in front, okay? So then so now just go sine -1. So now you have like this, right? Sine C. So to find C now, you just go okay. Well, just remember in grade 10 when you had to find the angle, you'd always have to use the -1 function. Same way. You're finding the angle, so you got to do the -1 function. Close enough.
It's very, very little angle.
That's okay. We all know why. It's because I made the number too big. I made 17 too big.
Why would the 1.1 work?
Sine technically can't be bigger than 1. So whenever you have a sine value that's bigger than 1, it's going to be wrong.
So just know you did something wrong.
The reason it went wrong is because I made up this number here.
Mm-hmm.
I changed the example on the fly. What I should have done is I should have made it smaller. I should have made it less than 12. Yeah. But I didn't think of that ahead of time. But that's okay. But does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys want to try another one of these? Jenna, I don't get you. You're aggravating. Okay, we're gonna try a word problem now.
Should we write down the word problem?
You can. It's in the textbook though. This is example 3. Like if you want, you could write say like see page 122, example 3. Okay. All right. What you should be aware of is this juicy little nugget of information here. Right? Like the gentleman in the back, they didn't watch the video yesterday and they didn't figure this part out until the end, I think.
I watched them.
Someone, Kaylin didn't, that was it. And I was like, did you watch? See?
Should we
All right.
write that down?
Write down, I'll show some examples of what I mean here and take those down. Okay, now with some word problems, you're going to start dealing with direction. Okay, like northwest, southwest, east-west. North always points up, south down, east is on your right, west is on your left.
Yes.
Never eat shredded wheat. Okay. What they do is they give you angles off of them, and they always measure the angles off of either north or south.
So it's southwest 45. So it's southwest 45.
Right. Or if I said north, it's always going to be north the degree than what direction it went in.
Okay.
So if I said north 12 degrees west, so that that's north, south, west, east. Now remember, these are always just sketches. You're not actually measuring the precise angles here. Goes off northwest like that. This is my 12 degrees here.
Now you just subtract both from 90 to find the other.
Well, yeah, then you would know that for sure, right? This would be 78. Good, because you're going to have to do that here a little bit too. Very good. And we're going to have to remember some stuff about parallel lines.
Oh no.
So, or if I gave you one south 70 degrees east, that's 70 degrees there. Okay? You always go from the first direction, and then you make your measurement off of that. And it's always going to be north and west, north and south. Okay? You'll learn more about this in science time too. You'll do directional. Yeah, when you do the physics unit, you'll do like directional stuff. Don't worry, it all makes sense. Okay, questions about this? Cool. All right. So with this example here, you have a boat. It's a captain of a small boat. For whatever reason, they love using boats for this stuff. They get nautical all the time. You're either in a boat, a canoe, a kayak, tugboat, whatever. All right? Makes a lot of sense in a landlocked province, but it's okay. Okay, so you have a boat. I'll put the boat here. It supplies 2 lighthouses as shown. Okay, so there's lighthouse A, and then there's lighthouse B here. Okay? All right, his compass indicates that the lighthouse to his left, so this is his left, is located at north 30 degrees west, and the lighthouse on his right is located at north 50 degrees east. Determine the compass direction he must follow when he leaves lighthouse B for lighthouse A. All right? So let's go with what we know here. Wherever you're starting from this boat, right? This is where it tells you all your information. So with that, I'm going to draw a compass right there, okay? Now, from the boat to lighthouse A, so if I go from here, I'm going to use some different colors. If I go from here to there, I know that this angle here is north 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Okay? Now, I also know, I'll stick with green, from the boat to B, like so, is north 50 degrees east. And now I want to figure out the compass direction he must follow. So he goes from here to there.
What do you mean by the compass direction?
Well, when he leaves here, he's going to have to chart a course. And so now when he leaves, this is going to be north. He's going to go northwest some direction, and you need to figure out what that is. Okay? Gets a little confusing, I know. So I'm going to start with figuring out some angles here, okay? Oh, wait, there's probably some more information that we should be given. Oh, yeah, totally. The drawing also has, that is 12 meters from A to B. That helps a lot, hey? So now look at here. Is that all it gives? Oh, and it gives this as 9. That's going to make it way easier. Way easier.
Are they both kilometers?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Whatever, just keep them both meters. It doesn't matter. Make it knots because we're talking nautical miles anyway, or we're doing boats. All right, so based on what we've learned today about sine law, I have this angle because 30 plus 80 is, or 30 plus 50 is 80. There we go. 30 plus 80 is actually 110. I have the opposite side. I have a side. I can solve for the total angle here, okay? So let's do that using sine law. All right? So I know sine 80 over 12 equals sine of B over 9. Am I still going too fast again? Does everything that I've drawn so far make sense?
Yeah.
These are going to take time, a lot of time. That's why they're working on the same lesson for 2 days now. It just takes practice.
So we probably will only be doing this before the break.
Yes, this will be it. All right? Right? These take time, but they get better, don't they?
No, I'm on one.
Don't listen to her. She's negative.
Well, I'm...
No. Okay, so I can solve all this. Do you guys want me to show all my steps?
Yes, let's solve it.
Okay. So, first thing I do is cross multiply. 9 sine 80 equals 12 sine B. Now I'm looking for sine B, so I bring the 12 back over. So really, you didn't have to do that step, but I'll show it anyways. So it's 9 sine 80 over 12 sine B. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I tend to with sine law because I've been teaching it for so long, I just kind of ramble through it pretty quick. So try this in your calculator. Do the 9 sine 80 divided by 12 part. Let me punch it in. I'll give you a hand, okay?
And then can you figure out A by just like, because they should equal 180, right?
Right, but we don't need angle A for this one.
I know, but we could.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if you solve this all out, you're going to get B equals 48 degrees.
Yes.
Cool. Now, that's this entire angle here. Okay? That this guy forms on his trip. All right?
We need just a little bit.
But you just need to know what angle did he set between north and west to go from lighthouse B to lighthouse A. Dun, dun, dun. That's where our work with parallel lines comes in. Because if you look at my compasses here, if I drew them properly, west to east, and
West to east is parallel.
right, these two lines are parallel, aren't they?
And north-south are parallel, and north-south are parallel.
Right, north-south will be parallel.
Northwest, west-east are transversals.
Yes. So, but now look,
I have an idea what I'm gonna do.
what do I have here?
Z.
I have my Z. So these two angles inside the Z are equal, right? They're alternating interior angles. You guys remember that?
Yes.
You should. You just wrote a test on it.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a little bit more. So we know that these two are going to be equal. Now I don't know what either one of them are right off the hop, but I do know that the angle that north and east form in total is going to be 90 degrees.
And the one side is 50.
Right, and if this is 50, that means this has to be
40.
good. Does that make sense, Eve? Okay, you're just you're looking like you're soaking it up. I just want to make sure it's sticking. Sorry, I don't mean to pick on you or anything like that. So if this is 40, that means this here.
Is 40 degrees, which means the other one is 8.
Right. Okay, because if this is 40, that's 40 here. If the total angle is 48, that means this top little piece is 8. Woo!
So it's the angle from B to A.
So the chart or the course that the
North.
boat was 8 degrees here. So there's two ways you can write this. This is 8 degrees off of west. So you could say he went west 8 degrees north. Or you could say he went north 82 degrees west.
Probably the 82 is better because it follows this thing.
Right. All right. I'm going to stop talking now to give you guys some time to practice some of these. So on page 125, do questions, like when I say do them, I'll do like 3 ACE, 4 9 and 10. Yeah, sure.